Hey everybody, this is Joseph Brooks. We are here at Red Velvet Studio here in Los Angeles, California, and I am here with Sangina.
Hi.
Hey! So, let's kick this thing off. We're just going to be talking about the music biz, giving some music tips, and talking about, what it's like to be an up-and-coming music artist and growing your career. So, let's talk with Sangina.
Hello, everyone.
What have you been up to lately? What's the latest in your music adventure?
The latest was the show at Troubadour a couple months ago. And then I traveled around the Caribbean Sea. I traveled to different countries. My parents came and I was sick then. So that was the last show that I did. And now I'm working on getting talent visa. So I'm originally from Kazakhstan and I'm doing O1 right now. So this is my main focus. And also I'm getting ready for releasing songs that are waiting for their release. As you know, as an independent artist, you have a bunch of songs on your hard drive that are waiting for their moment to shine, because it takes a lot to prepare like all music videos, like reels, and like marketing strategy, distribution, everything. So since I just started this year releasing music in English, it's a little bit new thing for me, because I need to change distributors. I need to change like strategy, and I'm a little bit in the air still. Like I don't understand the processes, so I need to check how it's gonna work, kind of like that.
No, it's good. It's growth.
It's growth, exactly.
And that's the whole thing. You're developing your skills and knowledge of the industry and how things work.
Yeah.
You don't have any songs in English out yet, or you have a couple, or?
Yeah, I have one I released this year.
Okay.
It's called Run Out of Time. I released it on February, and then I just realized today that I didn't release anything for a while.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because like when you're doing everything yourself, like manage everything yourself, like I was focused on playing a couple shows here, and like as you know, you need to sell your tickets and you need to promote show and like put all the band together, rehearse. So it was my main focus. I wanted to do like really good shows, so I focused on that, and now I'm gonna focus on my releasing music. So this is, as you said, part of the growth, and also like always fighting and figuring out what is your main focus, like what is your main priority.
Yeah.
So that time for me, priority was like to perform at Troubadour. Like I really wanted that.
Which was a really good show, by the way. And I was there. Did you see what happened at Molly Malone's?
Yes, at Molly Malone's, the goal was to film everything and like to put the good quality content with live versions of songs. So
and the whole thing's on YouTube if you guys want to check that out. She's got all these really well done, well produced live recordings of the show that was at Molly Malone's over on Fairfax. So
thank you. Good. Thank you for promotion.
Yeah. You gotta check it out.
Yeah, I didn't pay for this.
Molly Malone. No, but it was on fire. Did you see that?
Of course.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of work.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
It was your set. Your set burned down the house. That's why
I was headlining, obviously.
No, but they'll be okay. I hope things get rebuilt back up and stuff like that. So it'll.
But actually, you're right, because that day it was surprisingly that one manager came to see my show, also owner of recording label, like music group company, also came to see my show, and it just happened like this. Like I didn't plan it. I just met these people maybe like a week ago before the show, or like a couple of days before the show, and new experience for me, because like I have a lot of background performing on the concerts and also on the competitions. So like people judge you. Here it was a little different. So like people come to see, is it worth it to work with you? Kind of like look at you as a product. So it's like different feeling. So you should impress them. So like they're not gonna choose who is better or not. They're not gonna compare you to somebody, but they're gonna look at everything you have and you should give the best impression. So this was something different for me. And I really enjoyed this feeling like I finally got to this point where people were interested to work with me in a long term and like invest their money, invest their time. Like I was working like 10 years to get to this point. And then when they came, I realized, I'm like, actually, I'm good being independent for a while.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the overnight success. It's like every other overnight success was like 10 years in the making. Like all of a sudden you think they came out of nowhere, but like there's all these times and stories of them doing stuff that you didn't know about that brought them up to the point that they're at, where you really did discover them. But like it takes a lot of that development to get to that point. But I want to say, is music a product? Being artistic and having artistic integrity in what you're doing, but still being like, I still need to push this like I'm a business and it's a product.
Of course, music is a product. Like if you're an artist, especially a musician, of course, music is a product. So like if you look at yourself, what kind of services you can provide to people, first of all is songs. Because if you're an artist and you don't have songs, you have nothing. Like you're worth nothing if you don't have your own songs. Otherwise, you're a covers artist. And it's also okay. Just like it depends on what kind of vision you have of your career. Like if you want to be a cover artist, you sing covers. If you want to be artist with own personal branding, so every song is a side of your branding. So of course it's a product. Music is a product if you want to earn something.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, and that's kind of the thing. It comes down to like what your personal goal is. And the goal is going to be different for every artist. And so like, there's not one right way to do it or a wrong way to do it per se. If your goal is the, I guess, more traditional or more mainstream route to be like a superstar or a pop star or a rock star or whatever, embracing that and knowing how to run with it in a way, you can make it something that you can use to your advantage instead of feeling like a sellout. Like I feel like that was kind of an old ideology where people used to think like, if you did certain things, it was selling out. But now people are actually more proud to sell out a lot of the time with things. It's like, we want those brand deals, those promoters. Like we want like, it's kind of like almost a flex or something cool now to be like, brought to you by so-and-so. Cha-ching. Instead of being like, you can't do that because like nobody wants to sponsor you or promote you. So get your bag where you can get it.
But also, like from the other side, it's just so difficult to switch from being just like creative, or being really business person. If you're doing music for a living, you cannot only live in your dreams and like, oh, it's only creative. In that point, it's not gonna be like a discipline, I think.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the serious and look at this like, this is your work. You just wake up, you do work. This is a real work. This is a job, like a full-time job. Actually, like you overwork. Because
you don't clock in and clock out. You're you all the time.
Exactly.
You know, the job becomes
like 24 hours a day. And you should be an artist all the time. And I think if you change your vision, like from just being creative and doing music as an art, blah, 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 in that point, you should have somebody in your team or somebody like your friends who will take care of the business side. Like who would take like, oh, I like this song. This is really cool. And they make transition to the product.
Yeah.
But like, it's like a balancing between doing everything materialistic or like don't lose this sparkle, creative sparkle inside.
Yeah. I think that there's been many great artists in the past who have found that balance between being able to really send a strong message or hold a vision or share a strong message with the world on a wide scale where like, yes, it helped them grow in their career and like, okay, maybe we sell a lot of records off of that, but what we were saying really like resonated with a lot of people. And I think that there's like a beauty to that where you were able to express yourself creatively, but it also impacted so many people on like a wide scale. And to have something to say, something to express, or a feeling that resonates with like a lot of people's like humanity on a lot of different levels.
Yeah, I think the most difficult part of this is like to create something and then really to look at this. Like, I think every artist should have different personalities inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're as a creative person, you're as your own producer, you're as your own listener. So like you should look at yourself from the side.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you create something, you should look on this from the side and like, okay, can we do something with this? Like, does it have something special? Can we promote this? Who's going to listen to it? Like, look at this from the side. Of course, music is a message. Of course, music is the way to communicate with people. Of course, the music is the way to maybe inspire somebody or maybe to connect emotionally with somebody, so they're gonna feel that they are not going through things themselves. You're together, and like maybe the music is the way to unite people. It depends what is your goal. So you should look at your art from the side and then think like, okay, so who's gonna listen to this? Where are they gonna listen to this? How old are these people? Maybe this is for like young generation. Maybe this is for more adult generation. And then it comes to the next step, like finding the better sounds for production. Then like how you're gonna dress up, for example, to represent the song. Where are you going to perform this? Where is this people who are going to take this song and like save to their playlist?
If you can kind of visualize where this song could be playing or where this belongs, like what environment in your head. Is this the song that somebody plays on a road trip? Is this what they play when they're working out at the gym?
Yeah.
Is this what they play when they're at the club, they're at a wedding or whatever? You know, just like creating a moment where you say like, this could fit in to be like the soundtrack of their life. And then that's like those areas where you can fit in.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important. You kind of touched on something that I wanted to talk about, which is like creating an image and like creating your brand and like almost like a character, something outside of yourself when you're who you are as an artist. You can be like, I'm me. And then you create like a version of yourself.
Like a character.
As the artist, as the character.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of examples of people like, let's say Lady Gaga, for example. I'm sure she don't go to sleep in the outfit full of meat. I'm sure she just dressed up like
How do you know? Yeah, exactly.
But when she goes on the stage, she looks like artist with this crazy outfits that I'm sure she's not wearing when she just like eats a breakfast or something.
Yeah, you're performing. If it enhances the song, it engages the audience, it makes them more, or, you know, it just makes you more entertaining to watch.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you're an entertainer. It needs to be fun to watch, or like the energy that you're bringing to it. So it's a song, but like you could do some other things to enhance that, whether that's the lighting or an outfit or, you know, the smoke. It adds entertainment value to what you're already doing. It depends on what style of music you do. You know, some people, they're like, I don't need all that, or I don't got to do this or that.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. So what I learned recently, I took a class. We just asked about Grammy Museum classes, and I took a class, live performance. They really showed this like a list of people who you visualize yourself as an artist. You pick your goal, like you want to be as a singer-songwriter, and they have examples like Ed Sheeran. For example, he's a singer-songwriter. How he looks on the stage, what he does. He doesn't have this 2,000 dancers on the
no, he's not like that.
Just himself on the stage. He's really like kind of vulnerable. He's like sharing his feelings, emotions. So he plays guitar and he's himself on the stage. Only his voice and guitars and maybe live instruments. Nothing crazy. Maybe also tracks. And also there is another league of artists like icons. for example, it's Beyonce or Shakira. So Jennifer Lopez. So they are really entertainers. Or Taylor Swift. They have Taylor Swift is in between singer-songwriter and icons, but more pop icon, I think. And she has this like dancers, big shows. She performs on the big stadiums. So you should first of all visualize yourself, what type of genre you're gonna do, and what kind of artist you want to be. Also, there is another league like magicians. So these are artists that create the journey, like musical journey on the stage. For example, this could be, for example, Tori Kelly. Like she has this crazy runs and riffs that nobody can have. Or like Jacob Collier. He has this musical journey that nobody can create. And you feel yourself as a part of this musical journey because you even sing together harmonies. So this is
well,
magicians.
The crowd engagement.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I think that's another thing that's important, like as a factor, like even when you're writing your songs, to like maybe occasionally think of it like, how would I create a song that interacts really well with the audience live, where there's a emotion or something it's Deo, as a Freddie Mercury, like there's lots of people who like the echoing something back and forth. It just gives the crowd something to do. It loosens people up. It's almost like an icebreaker for the show. Yeah,
I really figured out like, I think I'm not going to be singer-songwriter for sure. Like my goal is to be a pop icon and magician.
Yeah.
Like I really want to be in that point. So it means all the other categories are not what I'm looking for. So it means I need to focus on being more improved in dance skills, being more improved to engage audience, or having songs that are memorable and people can sing together. It's not like putting yourself in a box. It's just like making it easier, more specific. What are you looking for?
I don't think it's bad to do that, though. I think that certain limitations can help you focus.
Like being more specific.
Yeah. I feel like I see this a little bit when people are first starting out or they're first starting to record. It's like they want to do everything, but eventually it can help you to say, like, this is what I do and this is what I don't do.
Yeah.
Or like, this is what I want and that's what I don't want. And then you can push more towards what you really do want.
Exactly.
It's not a limitation. It's actually helping you.
I think it's a smart way to use your energy.
Yeah.
All of us have only like 24 hours a day, but half of this time we sleep, another 6 hours we eat. So we have like how much left? Like maybe we're productive 8 hours per day.
Yeah.
Not more. In this 8 hours, you cannot cover all of these categories. Like 1 hour being singer-songwriter, 1 hour being magician, 1 hour being pop icon. Like you cannot do like this, I think. Not because like maybe you can, but it's just gonna waste all of your energy. Take all of your energy.
I think that it's important to find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And then to focus in on, like, in your private time or whatever, maybe you can work on the weaknesses, but you find out what your strengths are and then focus on those strengths. And that will get you a lot further along, I think. Part of becoming a better artist, and I think it takes a while to develop, and that's okay. Day one, you might not know everything, but the more you spend time developing those skills and researching things, and even just like learning about music history or like learning about artists who inspire you, that can help you a lot to kind of find your path, to find your way. So I think it's important. Ed Sheeran released a lot of albums before he even got signed, before he even got discovered. I want to say like 5 or 6 albums before he even like got anything. And like, that's quite a bit, And so there's a lot of people who like, they won't even drop one album and then they want to give up. They drop like a couple songs and they want to give up. Ed Sheeran dropped like 5 albums before he even got like anywhere. So it just goes to show, like, if you don't give up, things can happen.
For this case, it's really, I think it's really helpful to read a lot of stories and biographies of artist that you're inspired, most of us were looking on the final result and we're like, oh, I also want to be like that. She is lucky. But we need to learn her journey or like his journey, what they did before something happened. Because if you're going through the same thing and it might happen that in some point everything will change. But they also worked a lot to get there. It's not just like they woke up one day and they are famous and everybody loves them and their music is on all top charts. No, it's not like this. Last year, I've been on the concert of artist Ray.
Oh, yeah.
And
she's really good.
She's really good. But on the concert, she shared that for 7 years, she was signed to the label. They didn't release one of her album. And also, they didn't even pay attention to her. And just because of TikTok, one of her songs blew up really big. And people started noticing her. And now, since this year, she received so many awards, like Brit Awards, everything, and like one by one, she performed at Coachella and everything. So, like before last year, her career was like this, and then rapid growth to the sky.
There's been this last year in music's been crazy. I feel like we've seen a lot of bigger stars coming out all of a sudden, like a lot, and really like talented too. So I'm happy. I'm optimistic. I've seen a lot of cool artists kind of coming out. So
yeah, so it's like read biographies of successful people and educate you that everyone goes through doubts. Everyone goes through life lessons. Everyone has ups and downs. It's not like always steady. It's just one day they are famous, next day nobody cares about them, next day their manager left them, like Lana Del Rey's manager just left her a week before Coachella show. It's like happens with everybody. So I think the seed of everything is how much you ready to work, how much you love what you do, and do you really love it yourself, or this is a dream of somebody else, or like this is your mom's dream, or like your dad's dream, or this is yourself, or this is like what society thinks that is cool, like, oh, it's cool to be a famous rapper.
Yeah.
So like,
well, and that's the thing. Yeah, you can. If something's your dream, it's gonna it's your dream, and it's gonna be your dream. Like you're gonna keep wanting to do it. Like I feel like I see some people where it's like they think they can just like pick it up and it's like a plaything or something. It's like I can kind of that could maybe be cool, maybe, and it's like.
But this also helps. Like sometimes taking it too serious also.
Well, it's good to experiment with different.
Yeah. Sometimes playing with music, it actually can work because you cannot be all the time serious because, of course, we're artists. And what describe artists, we should be like light, really light and creative and like a little bit dreamy. But if we're going to be all the time really serious, it's going to be hard. So we're playing music. We're playing with like even... playing music. The verb is play. So we should be a little bit playful, I think.
Yeah. I think you can take yourself to, like, you need to take your career seriously, but you don't have to take yourself so seriously all the time.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you're going to look stupid, and that's okay. You know?
And that's even can help you and make you become who you want to be.
Yeah. I feel that.
It's always like a struggle of finding a balance between everything. Finding a balance as like a business person or a creative person or just a responsible adult that needs to take care of future.
There's a lot of different areas too. So some people, it's like, I thought my acting career was going to take off, but then my singing career took off. Or I thought my singing career would take off, but then my acting career, whatever,
Yeah.
And sometimes one thing helps the other, where it's like, Drake from Degrassi, and then he became a rapper because, whatever. But like a lot of people know him because he was on a TV show, or like Ariana Grande It's like, oh, you were on all these Nickelodeon TV shows before like the singing career took off. So, sometimes one thing leads to another. Maybe it doesn't happen the way you thought it would happen, or it doesn't happen the way you thought it would happen, but like it still happens. So I guess, you got to go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah. And this is like also the way how to, I think not only music as a product, I think you should have yourself as a product.
Mm-hmm.
So like you are a product. What kind of services you provide to people? Like you can be an actor, you can be like just doing voiceover, you can be like consulting somebody in some areas that you already learned because of your experience.
And you're doing the vocal coaching, right?
Yeah.
And I'm doing music production and engineering and stuff. I started out just being like, I'm a singer and I'm an artist, but like there's a lot of different things that I know about now that I'm skilled in, where like I can offer that up to somebody as a service or a product that I offer. So I think you're valuable as a person first.
Yeah. Now I opened a new side of myself that I'm a good songwriter. And I'm telling that officially to everyone. I'm a good songwriter. I had so much doubts. Like a lot of songs that I wrote are not released yet. Because like when people were writing songs for me, I was like, oh, this is a good song. And I tell to everyone, this is a really good songwriter. But when it comes to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, I write.
Oh, well, you know what? Some of it's a confidence thing too.
There's a confidence, yeah.
It takes a while to like giving yourself credit for your own work.
Yeah.
And I have to do that all the time. You can do the work, and I feel like a lot of artists, they're like, it's my song and it's about me because it's my song. And it's like, it is about you at the end of the day. And like, I don't really care. But I think that like, everybody, like you got to give yourself the credit for your things that you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And also like on the way, like my lessons that I learned, like on the way when you get where you want to be, like you want to be like big artist, influential person, but on the way you still can help other people who are on the point A, and they are look at you like, oh wow, she's so cool, like I want to learn from her specific things. And like certain time ago you were on that point A and you were looking on other people like, oh my god, she's so cool, I also want to do the same. And like now you're already on this point B, and next step is point C. But there are still people who are on the point A and they are waiting for you to give them your skills, your knowledge, or even like how you changed your mindset to move step forward.
Yeah.
Not like stay on the same place. And you can really help other people. And like not only focusing like I'm only a singer and I only sing.
Yeah.
You also have like a million other talents that also valuable and they can be useful. And like I'm learning this still, like what I would really like to do the same as I like singing. And I also satisfy myself. And I also
fulfilling for you.
Fulfilling myself.
Yeah.
And I feel that I help others and I feel good about that.
Yeah.
That I'm helpful. And also I get paid for this.
Yeah.
Because this is knowledge, skills, and experience that nobody has.
Oh, it's valuable.
This is unique experience.
Well, that's what, it's like, what does this person, if you're adding valuable information, you're adding value to somebody's life or their career, like that's worth something, like I would have loved to have met current me, 6 years ago or whatever,
Yes, me too.
So it's like when you're seeing what you want to do with your career, you're just need some guidance. You need a mentor. You need somebody to learn from. And so, that's why it's like, why not do this, And I think that's kind of the goal for a lot of us.
Exactly.
Is like, no matter what part of music we're in, it's like, I'm gonna, whether I'm the big singer on the stage or I'm mentoring somebody or producing for them. Like I'm doing something with music. I'm doing something with art or my craft or what I feel that I'm like gifted in or that I enjoy doing, that I find fulfilling, where it helps other people. But then I'm like, hey, this is like part of my career. This is like what I do for a living. And like, why not? Why
Why
wouldn't you want
not?
to?
Exactly. Yeah. So I had to like, it's a little bit like you should work a little with your ego, because like it ego says to you like you're only singer.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah, exactly.
I get that. That's a big thing. You're like, I'm gonna be this, and if I don't get to be that, then it's nothing. Cause it's like, and that's fine. But you hope that that's the way it goes, but you never know what's gonna happen in life. You never know what's gonna work out. And sometimes things work out, or like along the way on your journey, you thought the thing that you wanted was what you wanted, but then on the way to the thing that you thought you wanted, you find other things on that way that you're like...
enjoy more even.
You're like, hey, like I actually really like just doing this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is what's working. Like this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like what I found now that I get the same, like I fulfill myself the same when I write music.
Mm-hmm.
And I fulfill myself the same when I teach vocals to students, and when they perform, then, and to see them so proud of themselves, so happy. I also feel happy.
Yeah. So as an artist, it's really important to, let yourself embrace the different parts of what are you good at? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses, I guess, like... You might view yourself as an artist, but you might be really great as a songwriter. You might be really great as a producer. Maybe you're really good at, arranging songs and creating the instrumentation. But, you initially thought you were this thing. And then later on, you discover on your way, like there's other skills that you kind of specialize in. So.
Exactly. And you're also gifted, maybe.
Yeah.
But before you try, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's good to try, and also to let yourself be a student.
Yeah.
For a little.
Constantly a student, constantly learning. As soon as you think you know everything, you don't.
It's like degradation. Right away.
Yeah.
So like always learn, always keep your eye open to new things, to new trends. And it doesn't mean to change yourself towards every trend that comes.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Being flexible, not only like, I'm only like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can also experiment, change, try other things. And maybe the road is not straight. Mm-hmm. The road is always like this. Then it may be like this.
Oh, no.
Then you come back.
Oh, okay.
Then you do like this. And it's not just straight.
I thought one day I would be this thing and the next day I would be this thing. Yeah. It doesn't work the way you would think it would, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe one day you're just stuck in the dead end and you don't know where to go. So you need to do U-turn and come back where you started. So it's just part of the journey. But I'm really grateful for this opportunity to try.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has time.
Yeah.
We're really, I think we're really rich with time and with opportunities that we have here in Los Angeles, especially because like a couple years ago when I was sitting in Astana, I was dreaming to live somewhere like in US and have access to these opportunities, have access to all studios, producers, all industry. I was like, maybe one day it will be great if I will be there. And like, I was so jealous to people who have everything and they don't use this. And then when I come here and I live here and every day I wake up so grateful, having amazing people around that are talented, that have same goals, same dreams, and so have this fire inside to reach their goals, work consistently every day, not looking at this like, oh, it's just a creativity. It's really work.
Yeah.
Like, do it for a living, and after a while, become successful.
I think that but what you said is right, though. I think it's important to always surround yourself with people that also share the same work ethic and same vision that will help drive you to do better, to do more. And also, like, if I go see a musician or I go see an artist, I usually want to go see one that's better than me.
Exactly.
I want to see somebody who's better than me. I don't want to see somebody who's like just as good as me or like worse than me, because it's like they give me like a goal to strive for. Like when I see them, I'm like, I got to work harder. Like I need to work on me. I need to take responsibility for me to get better so I can be like that. If you make your friend group and your peers, your people do you collaborate with, you work with, whatever, professionally, find other people that stir that fire within you to make you want to do something greater. You can get stagnant. You can get, to that level where you get lazy about it, to be frank. You always want other people around you that keep pushing you.
I also, like, when you were talking about this, I memorized one moment when I have this mindset, like everything is so difficult. It's so difficult to find people that are willing to work with you. It's so difficult to find the right producer. It's so difficult to find a mixer. And like you live with these doubts every day and with this mindset, and nothing changes. I met one girl on auditions, and she just said, oh, I have a song. I wrote it like 5 years ago or like 3 years ago, but I still don't know it, who I work. I'm scared. So like she has so many doubts that I had maybe like 10 years ago or like 5 years ago. I don't remember. She's like, it's so difficult. It's so hard. I don't know how. But in the end, when you just text to one person, they reply immediately, and it doesn't cost like millions of dollars. It can be just like a collaboration. So you don't even need to spend money that you imagine in your head, like $100,000. It doesn't cost like this. So what always helps is to do research and to be proactive. So ask, and you don't need to pay just to ask something. You don't need to pay just to text to somebody.
Yeah. Start the conversation.
Exactly.
Get it going. Build the relationship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think that, something might be really out of reach and so, impossible to happen.
Exactly, yeah.
It could happen. We can make it happen. You got to reach out to people. And I think that fear is what's holding you back a lot of the time.
Yeah, that fears comes also from not having right information, because like you don't know, and that's why you're scared. When you know what you're doing or like where are you going, you're not that scared. You still have some fears, doubts, of course, everybody has it, but you're already more confident in every step you're doing. Or like you're going on a meeting, you know that person, and you know what you're gonna ask him, what kind of service he's gonna provide to you, how much you're gonna pay him. I just remember this experience once. One studio here in Los Angeles, they texted me like, "Hi, come to our studio. We're gonna provide a free session." Then I come, and like they record me, and after a session they say, "Nice, thank you." I'm like, "Can I get the recording?" And they like, "Oh, actually, if you want to get the recording, you should pay like $200 for recording."
See,
they didn't tell me this.
They
at
pulled a
advance.
fast one.
Exactly.
See, that's one of those things. I get what they were doing, but
this is like a dirty game.
Yeah.
And like when you know what to expect, and like when you know with whom you're gonna work, how much it's gonna cost, like always ask these questions up front.
Yeah.
Like when it's gonna be finished, what are deadlines, what are like guidelines, what is your like vision, what is your reference, like a lot of things. Be more specific, because giving too much freedom to person, it's also hard for that person to understand what you want, because nobody knows what you want.
Yeah.
Nobody knows your vision before you will explain, like, I want this, or at least give some examples.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, just do it. And it's
Exactly.
like, you're like, what do you want? What do you want from me? Like, I would love to give you what you want, but you need to tell me what you want.
Exactly.
And you need to know what you want to tell me that. So, like I could just do whatever, but then it's like, no, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking like this. And it's like, well, now you tell me.
Yeah.
So
this is like a homework.
Yeah.
So when you just starting being an artist, it's really difficult to answer to these questions, and you need to do a lot of research. You should really learn yourself, who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what is like your personality. Are you a positive person, or you're more melancholic, or maybe like you're positive in the real life with people, but maybe it's your character. Maybe inside you have pain, and like you want to unleash this pain in your music. So this is a lot of work and questions that you need to ask yourself. And I remember last year when I started a class at Musicians Institute called Independent Artists. And we had so much questions that we need to answer, like who you are, what is your goal, what is your sound, how your sound should sound, like how you can you describe your sounds in words. This is so difficult.
Sometimes you think it's like, you're like, who's asking this question? This is a stupid question. This is silly. And you really think about it. Actually, it's important for you to know that, to be able to answer that. Especially like, you want to go on Jimmy Kimmel Live. You want to go on a TV show. You want to have a big interview. You want to accept the award at the Grammys. What are you going to say? You have to, like kind of train yourself and practice that stuff before you get to that level so that you're ready to answer those questions when you get to that level. So like you have an interview at a festival or whatever, and they're going to ask you all these crazy questions, or even for a blog or an article.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
It's not only for this, also like when you promote your song or your music, you really should know how to put, because people will read. They won't listen to your music immediately. So when they read, they already should hear the sound. Yeah. And you should know how to describe it. This is so difficult. And there was a lot of questions like, what is your goal? What is your mission as an artist? What is your message in your music? And I had to really ask myself, okay, so what is my mission as an artist? And you should create it. Maybe it's going to be a draft in the beginning. You can edit it on the way. But at least when you have some template, who you are, what you want to do, you become more specific. Yeah. And you erase a lot of trash, a lot of unnecessary thoughts or like unnecessary ideas. So like if you already decide that you want to create a pop music, it means you don't do rock music on the same time, because you already found something that you like, you want to do, and resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think kind of creating a space where there's less questions, the more you eliminate those questions and you break things down to like the core of what it really is or what you really want to do, that's going to help you be able to push forward in a much better way. Where, that's the inner work you have to do. Like there's the outward appearance of who you are as an artist and what people see maybe on social media. They see the photos you do and the videos you make and like whatever. But like there are parts of yourself that you still have to do privately on your own with your mindset and how you think and how you interact with people and how you see yourself and your own confidence, that you have to work on you. You have to work on you so that when you present you to the world, you're that kind of person that you want people to see, so that you're ready.
Yeah. Also, another practice that helpful, ask yourself why. So like, I want to do this. Why? Then another why.
Because you want to be famous? Because you want to be rich?
Yeah. Like this is like a really famous practice, like of 5 whys. So like in the end, you find the real truth and the root. Like in the end, maybe the root is like, because my mom wants me to be singer like this. Yeah. Or like, because I just want to have somebody who will say you're good. Like in the end, it can be
Psychology.
so stupid. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think this is really, really important. Because sometimes you're just doing, and you don't understand, why am I doing this? Why? And you don't feel happy same time, and you don't understand why. Because like on one moment you wanted this, but like why you want this? Do you really want it for yourself, for your ego, or you want to give a message to people? Or like, are you making music because this is the only thing you can do? Or like, this is just to show that you're so cool and everybody looks at you and you're cool and they repeat after you. Maybe this is your goal and it's okay. But at least you're honest with yourself.
You know why.
Why.
Yeah.
This is really important to know why. And when you know the reason, it kind of gives you additional boost every day, because you know why you wake up, what you're going to do today, and you're grateful.
Yeah. Well, having clarity, like mental clarity, you know, having yourself like align with your vision and your goal, where you are making decisions and you are making choices that align with that vision and that goal, that helps bring you to that. So you're not just doing things, and today I do this, and tomorrow I do that, and I don't really know why I do it. And, oh yeah, I was doing this. It's like, why? Why are you doing that? You know? And I think that a lot of people, especially like people come to LA to pursue a career or a goal or whatever. And it's like, I moved to LA to be an actor. I moved to LA to be an artist. I moved to LA to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so they do that. And then you get here and like, you know, a year in or whatever, how far along are you? And are you making choices that align with that vision or that goal? Because I just feel like a lot of people get caught up with like some of the LA things.
Exactly.
And then you can get sidetracked. And I'm not saying that you can't like live your life or like do whatever, like, you know, not saying you can't go out to parties and you can't have fun or whatever, or have experiences. I think that can be good for like character development or like developing you as an artist, where you have stories and experiences to tell, you know. It's like, I don't have anything to sing about. Go on a couple dates, you know, get broken up with, you know, whatever, go to some parties, have some experiences, like live life. But I also think that like you can get lost in going just party and whatever, this event and this thing or whatever, it's like a keeping up with the popularity contest thing.
Yeah.
So
also like same thing like that you mentioned about the LA thing. After I moved here, I started noticing that when you mentioned that you're a singer, people are like, oh, another singer. Oh, another actor. So like they don't take you serious because it's so oversaturated by artists, singers, and they don't expect something unique from you, because like everybody is a singer. Like back home, everybody is a lawyer, for example.
Yeah. Right. Well, like, you know, you were the special one in your hometown,
or accountant, for example. Yeah.
So
here, like everybody is a singer, and then you should prove that you're serious and that you're doing it not for fun. This is really a serious job, and you put a lot of effort, a lot of time, money, and also why it's important to ask yourself why. Because I think being an artist, it's not a short-term goal. It's a like lifelong goal.
Yeah.
Like for some people, success is just perform for 5 people in their living room. For some people, success is like somebody sings a song that they wrote on the stadium. For some people, success is just releasing a song, and that's enough. Just also asking this question, what is success for me? What is my real goal? Not like what's cool.
Yeah.
Like what society thinks cool.
Yeah.
But like what you really consider is cool thing? Like, what is your dream that you feel part of? Like, you can imagine yourself being a part of.
Well, you were saying before, like, comparing yourself with other people. It's we compare ourselves a lot because we see famous people, we see what they're doing or whatever. But like, I think it's really important to compare yourself
with yourself in the past
or your past self. Like, what was I doing last year? What was I doing 5 years ago? And then like picking something to motivate you, to move you forward. Because you could say like, oh, I'm never going to make it. It's like, running a marathon or running a race or whatever.
It's not, I think it's not it's like a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
It's a marathon.
You think, I didn't make it all the way to the end of this big thing. And it's like, maybe right now you just need to focus on being able to do a couple miles or a couple laps or whatever, and then next year you add more to that and more as you progress. But finding things that are, this year I released a song. I've never released a song ever before.
Exactly.
This year I made a music video. I've never made a music video before.
You should celebrate it.
Yeah.
Celebrate yourself.
Yeah. So I think that's really important to focus on. And that's the clear way that can provide a path for you where you don't feel like just because you didn't turn into the mega superstar instantly, you're still doing something for you. You're still doing something that you have value, whether or not it's on this level that everybody has this like imaginative idea of what success looks like or something.
Yeah. And also like why I cover a lot of like mental health things, because since it's a long-term goal and everybody kind of know what is better for you, or everybody have 100 millions of advices to you, like, oh, to write a hit song, you should do like this or like this. And everybody thinks that they know better, but only you know how is better for you. Also, you should be a best friend for yourself. In that case, you should be really connected to your feelings, what you want, what you like. Maybe you want to become artist of a different genre. Maybe you want to create another project, or maybe you want to change your direction to somebody else, and maybe you want to change your profession. Maybe you want to become like a consultant.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's really like listening to yourself and knowing yourself really well. And I think when you connect to your feelings, it's easier to make decisions because you feel if it's good or not, if it's wrong or not. Because in this business, in this industry, a lot of people are fake. And it's so easy to get lost in the truth or lie, because people promise a lot, but they don't say everything up front. So you should be proactive and clarify to yourself, and also listen to your feelings. That's why it's really important to understand and understand, like, when you feel not well, when you feel that it's not what you want to do, say no. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the last opportunity in your life. That's the thing also. Always look at things that nobody's gonna die. You're not gonna die. Like, what if you will say no? Earthquake happens? No.
This was the only chance you ever had. Nothing else is ever gonna happen.
But people can say this.
Yeah.
Like, I experienced this recently, like, just forcing. Like, people sometimes force you to sign something that they want from you, or like agree to some terms that they want from you, and they like, oh, you know what? There are so many people that I can just go and pick whatever, and you're just sitting here like you're just like need time to make decision, and we're waiting for you. We're not gonna wait for you. And trust me, this is kind of like only opportunity in your life, like manipulating.
Yeah.
So you should really be so connected to yourself and feel when people try to manipulate you, or they try to get something from you that you don't want to do. And this is also growth.
That's
some growth.
Yeah, well, that's where people take advantage of some artists, or because you're like a little bit naive or you don't know better. Yeah. So that's why, like, as an artist, it's really important to educate yourself on these things so that somebody can't just come along and make a lot of big promises and say things to you, because like they can and they will say a lot of things like that, and you have to be able to know who's telling the truth and who's not, and who's being real with you, and like who really has your best interest, or if somebody's trying to like take advantage of you. There's a lot of different things on the line with a music career. Somebody else is like, I can make a lot of money off of you. And so they find you, and then, you know.
And they are nice to you in the beginning for you to like agree to something, but then they do whatever they want.
Yeah. So
because you already signed and you can't go back.
Well, and I'm not saying never sign anything. I think you should know what you're getting into. Maybe have a manager or have a music lawyer, people around you who can look at it with you, or have a good idea what you're getting into. Make sure, you know, they give you enough time to look it over and to process it and like make the right decisions and stuff like that. So always keep an open mind and keep learning as you progress as an artist. And that way you can keep developing yourself and developing your skills and just being an educated artist so that you can make the decisions in your career that really align with yourself and what you want for your career. So thanks so much, Sangita, for coming by the studio here at Red Velvet Studio LA. I'm Joseph Brooks. This is Sangita. And thanks for stopping by.